In the previous lecture, we have seen domestic refrigerator and water cooler. These are the applications of refrigerations. Today we will see next application of refrigeration, that is ice plant and cold storage in this lecture. Okay, these are the diagram of ice plant. It's also working on simple vapor compression cycle, and the major components of simple vapor compression cycles are evaporator, compressor, condenser, and throttle valve. Clear? The capacity of this ice plant is large, so atmospheric air is not much capacity to take heat from condenser. That is why cold water is used to take heat from the condenser. This cold water is again cooled in cooling tower by using natural air. Okay, and one more important thing here: refrigerant does not take directly heat from water, which is to be converted into ice. Okay, for that purpose, drying is there. So what will happen? Firstly, in evaporator, brine will cool, or refrigerant will take heat from brine, and that cold brine goes to the formation of ice. A can of water is there, the ice cans inside. So as temperature of water inside decreases, when it reaches to 0 degrees Celsius or below 0 degrees Celsius, the formation of ice takes place. Okay? So this cans ice gives its heat to the brine. Again, brine goes to the evaporator, takes it, lose it to the refrigerant, get cooled, and again come into the tank for further process for making ice again. Okay, so it is very simple. In evaporator, heat exchange in between brine and refrigerant. Okay, so what happened? Ammonia is used as refrigerant here instead of F12. Why? Because ammonia has excellent thermal properties, as well as ammonia is cheaper than F12. What is the impact of cost? If you look, so if we have capacity of ice plant 10 tons, then we will require almost 200 kg of refrigerant. Okay, and ammonia is 10% cheaper than F12. So because of this cheapening and because of requirement of ample amount of refrigerant, ammonia is selected instead of F12. But ammonia is hazardous. That is why brine is used. So ammonia is not directly in contact with ice. Ammonia will take it from brine, and brine takes it from the water. Understood? This is very important part. So after taking heat from brine, ammonia vapor goes to the compressor where it compressed, and this compressed ammonia vapor goes to the condenser where it loses its heat to the cooling water and become liquid ammonia. Again, this hot liquid water goes to the cooling tower where it is cooled by using natural air. And again, this cool water is used as cooling water for condenser. Okay. After condenser, liquid ammonia, high pressure liquid ammonia goes to throttle valve where its pressure decreases. This low pressure liquid ammonia goes to evaporator for taking it from brine. Okay. So generally, sodium chloride or chlorine chloride is used as brine because they sodium chloride is as well as it is less hazardous or less injurious. Okay, because brine is in directly contact with ice. Yeah. Now after ice formation order, these ice cans put in the water with temperature almost 23 degrees Celsius and taking ice plates from that ice can, uh, temperature less, if it is cold water, then there may be a chances of crack of the ice blocks, and last temperature it is difficult to take out this ice. Okay, so temperature should be maintained whenever we want to take ice from the ice can. Yeah, so it is very simple. If you understand the diagram, we get everything. Brine takes it from ice or water to convert into ice, and brine loses its heat in the evaporator to refrigerant. So refrigerant loses that heat in the condenser. Okay. Important things are ammonia is used than F12. It also have good thermal properties than F12, and its cost almost 10% of F12, and we are required much of refrigerant, so cost makes difference between F12 and ammonia. And sodium chloride generally is used as brine because it is less injurious as well as its cost is very less. Okay, so this is ice plant. So after ice plant, in cold storage also, refrigeration and air conditioning is used. So this is image cold storage. So in what is function of cold storage? Whatever you want to pull, whatever you want to pull or preserve, that things is generally kept in the cold storage. Vegetables, milks, fish, or anything. Okay, it is just for preservation purpose. So what happens? Suppose you want to keep vegetable here and record. So these boxes will be filled with vegetable. So whatever air will circulate through this cold storage is cooled and having required properties which is required for vegetable purpose. So generally, if vegetable is so temperature of this cold storage should be in between 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, and relative humidity should be in between 80 to 90%. So conditioned air is supplied to this cold storage to preserve vegetables. Okay, if milk is there, temperature of this cold storage should be 4 degree to 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, if to preserve fish, then temperature inside this cold storage should be minus 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, when we maintain this temperature, only when this product will be preserved. Okay, this refrigeration or air conditioning only preserve that product. It does not improve the quality of product or vegetable milk. It just decreases the rate of deterioration of this product. मतलब ये उसका जो डिटेक्ट होने का रेट है वो कम करेंगे, मतलब ज्यादा दिन वो चलना चाहिए, लेकिन इस रेफ्रिजरेशन का और एयर कंडीशनिंग का उसके क्वालिटी पर कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जस्ट प्रिजर्व और इट विल रिड्यूसेस द रेट ऑफ डिटोरेशन. Clear? So today we have seen ice plant and cold storage. Our last question, write a short note. There may be a chance to appear these questions. Write a short note on ice plant or write a short note on cold storage. So you have to draw this diagram properly and explain this diagram. You will get 5 marks. This question generally comes for 5 marks. You will get maximum marks if you draw this diagram and explain properly. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Clear? In the next lecture, we have seen other applications of refrigerations and air conditioning.